Am I the a-hole for choosing to live in a city which will make it nearly impossible for my ex to see his child? Am I the a-hole for adopting a policy of asked and answered move on with my family? Am I the a-hole for not wanting to get my DNA tested to make my friend happy? Am I the a-hole for choosing to live in a city which will make it nearly impossible for my ex to see his child? I, 28 female, got divorced from my ex-husband, John, 38 male, of 6 years in June this year. In 2019, I was diagnosed with PCOS and after multiple treatments and many complications, was told that I probably wouldn't be able to have a child naturally. We've been trying for a baby for 3 years and as expected, this devastated us. Our marriage suffered cause while I eventually made my peace with the situation. John couldn't seem to get past it. I suggested fostering and adoption, but his heart wasn't in it anymore. After months of hostility, zero intimacy, and withdrawn affection, I asked for couples therapy. He responded that he'd rather have a divorce. He said he'd been checked out for a while and there was no point dragging things out. I was heartbroken and it didn't help that I was stuck living with him throughout the lockdown. I eventually accepted the end of our marriage, and as we went through the divorce process, I prepared for the move back to my hometown across the country. Shortly before I moved out, we slept together. I know. It was an impulsive mistake fueled by alcohol and loneliness, and he made sure I knew it meant nothing. Anyway, I eventually moved back and it's been wonderful. I'd forgotten how much I love being near my family and friends. I was slowly adjusting to single life when I found out that I am pregnant. Yep, I know, right? What are the chances? I told John about the pregnancy and he was over the moon. But, for some reason, he assumed that I would be moving back to live with him. When I told him that I have no intention of moving back, but rather raising our child in my hometown, he lost his shit and accused me of trying to keep our child from him out of spite. I told him that he could move if he wanted to be closer to his child, but he insisted that he wouldn't be able to find work out here, and it made more sense for me to move back because I've only been at my new job a few weeks, and it wouldn't be as much of a sacrifice as leaving the job he's had for 11 years. He offered to pay for the move, a new apartment, etc., but I turned it down and explained that if I stay, I'll be able to keep working because my family is here to support me, and that my mom and sisters have already been such a big help with finding a place to stay, preparing for baby, seasoned mom advice, moral and emotional support. And so I feel more confident having them around. If I moved back, I would essentially have to be a stay-at-home mom, which I really don't want. He told his family about the baby without warning me, and now I'm being bombarded with criticism from every direction and being threatened with legal action for alienating them from baby. I don't see why I should be the one to compromise after having to up and move my whole life that way I did. Am I the a-hole for adopting a policy of asked and answered move on with my family? My family, mom, dad, older brother, all have this habit that drives me up the wall. Whenever they ask something and don't get the answer they want, they'll keep asking. Example, if they invite me to a get-together and I say, no thanks, they'll immediately follow up with, are you sure? Come on, it'll be fun. And when I insist that I'm not interested, they'll still text me the day of the planned party to be like, hey, it's not too late to come hang out. Are you coming over? Still no. Why do I need to say no 3 times? It's like this with everything. I recently had some work done on my house, got the carpet replaced with wood floors. My mom insisted that she thought I should get the bedrooms carpeted because it'll be nice, warmer. No, I wanted wood floors throughout. She asked again. Still no. The floor started going in. Are you sure? There's still time to change her mind. No. I've pointed out to them in the past how much I dislike this habit, but they keep doing it. It has reached the point where I've told them that I'm not going to do this anymore. I will answer them once, and if they keep asking, I will just ignore them. They think I'm being an a-hole and that ignoring them is rude and impolite. I think it's impolite to keep badgering someone who has given you an answer. If you don't like that answer, that's your problem, not mine. Am I the a-hole for not wanting to get my DNA tested to make my friend happy? I, 21 female, have this friend, also 21 female, who sometimes get ridiculously obsessed with a certain random thing and then proceed to talk only about that specific thing for a few months straight before eventually moving on to something else. This time, she became really interested in DNA tests. And I mean, those kind of things that were really popular on YouTube at one point, like 23andMe, Ancestry.com, and so on. She had her own DNA tested and constantly talked about her results. Got pretty much everyone in her immediate family and friend group to try getting theirs tested too, and she's now trying to persuade me to do it as well. Now I was adopted when I was just a few months old and look very racially ambiguous. So I have no idea who my biological parents were or where they came from. And this has my friend teeming with curiosity because she really wants to know what my ancestry looks like and whether I'm mixed race or not. But I really just give her zero fucks about those percentages and have no interest in selling my DNA information to some random company, because who even knows what they'll do with it? Not to mention, there's the possibility of having a bunch of random-ass strangers trying to talk to me out of nowhere just because the test told them we're 20% related. My friend says that tests can give you some important medical information too, and is still constantly insisting that I get tested. She even offered to buy me a DNA test kit for my upcoming birthday, to which I immediately said no thanks, and got her mad to the point of arguing with me. She says she can't understand why I'm so dead set on not taking a DNA test, and at this point, it started to really get on my nerves. Am I the a-hole?